just wanna hear what you have to say.
Good morning, church fam. Let me make sure I get this right. It's 5:30 in the morning. Where's my 5:30 warriors? Tuesday, February 17th. Good morning, good morning. Hope this week is kicking off really well for you. Hey, today we're going to talk about footholds and strongholds. We've been discussing Vision Sunday 2026. This is the Heart of the Vision by Pastor Josh Siebold. We discussed Isaac and the inheritance, famine seasons, the temptation of Egypt, because Egypt is where the food is. Egypt is where the systems are. Egypt is where you go when you get tired of trusting. Sowing and famine. I think we did a couple days in opposition to growth. And within our year of holiness, we're discussing footholds and strongholds today. Footholds and strongholds. So in our year of growth, a year of holiness, this is not just a year to grow numerically. This is not just a year to grow spiritually. This is a year to grow in holiness. Holiness is not legalism. Holiness is not trying to earn God's love. Holiness is our response to his love. Holiness is, I love God too much to keep living in what he died to free me from. Be holy, for I am holy. It means when the world keeps going one direction, God's people say, not me. So footholds and strongholds, things that can hold us back in our year of growth. So what have we been playing with that you know you were never supposed to keep around? Some examples of footholds would be a thought, a habit, a compromise, maybe a secret. If we give them a foothold, eventually it will become a stronghold. Some of us are fighting battles that started with something we tolerated. Maybe it was a thought that we tolerated. Maybe it was seeing something online we weren't supposed to look at. What's something that we tolerated? It became a foothold, which then consecutively became a stronghold. I have decades of experience in that. I can think of many examples where it just started as a thought. And here's the deal, we can't run full speed into what God has for us while dragging something behind us that God told us to drop. You know, if we're getting ready to commit to grow in 2026, if we're getting ready to commit, or if we have already committed to growing in 2026, we might have to let go of some of these footholds. Why? We do it now so that we don't have to take down a stronghold. Some of us are trying to grow, but we're still feeding something that's killing your spiritual appetite. Yeah. Some of us are trying to grow, but we're still feeding something that's killing our spiritual appetite. So it's like in the example of growth, if we're being planted and we're growing underground, I think we tend to feed weeds that grow around us, and they pop up and they monopolize the resources around us. These weeds that we either intentionally or unintentionally feed, they're monopolizing the resources around us. They're soaking up the water. They're taking the minerals out of the ground that were meant for us, but we're feeding them by allowing them to continue to grow. Some of us want revival, but we're still flirting with the very thing that quenches the spirit. What are some examples of that? Resentments. We gotta let go of resentment. We have to. If we're still holding grudges against our brother or sister, we gotta let those things go. We've gotta let them go. Because God has too much ahead of you for you to stay bound to what's behind you. This year is too important. Your calling is too important. Your family is too important. Your future is too important. So what are we talking about? Footholds and strongholds. Maybe it's an addiction. Maybe it's a dependency, a habit, a relationship, a pattern, a screen, a substance, a mindset. We're going to have to let it go. We're going to have to let it go. And more than likely, as you're listening to this, a thought popped in your head as to what that could be. Let's take that to the cross. Let's take that straight to the foot of the cross. We take every thought captive and make it obedient to Jesus. So what does holiness bring? We've been talking about holiness for a few days. Holiness is not about what we lose, it's about what we gain. We gain clarity, we gain peace, we gain freedom, and we gain that fire again. Pastor Josh does not believe that God is calling Generations Church to grow in noise. He's calling us to grow in power. And power flows through purity. So let's get free. Let's close the doors the enemy has been walking through. This is a year to grow. And growth sometimes is painful. I don't know if you remember back when you were a kid, but my youngest now lets me know, like, man, last night it hurt. I said, growing pains? He said, yeah, my legs were hurting. They were hurting bad, Dad. Yeah, man, I'm sorry. I know you're going to be a giant too. But this is a year to grow in faith, grow in obedience, grow in holiness. We will keep digging wells and we will flourish in the land. We're going to flourish in the land. We're going to grow in faith, grow in obedience, grow in holiness. And remember, holiness is not legalism. Holiness is not trying to earn God's love. That's no. We didn't earn it to begin with, and we're not trying to earn it now. Holiness is our response to His love, and we're going to grow deeper. We're going to grab those footholds and strongholds. We're going to begin getting rid of them. And let me tell you, operating with the Holy Spirit is something you'll never regret doing. You'll never regret it. For some reason, when it comes to our sin, when it comes to footholds, like those thoughts or those habits, those compromises, those secrets, we've buried them so deep down. But I want to encourage you today. The Holy Spirit, Spirit's gentle. The Holy Spirit's gentle. And He wants to operate on your heart. He does. And He's very, very gentle. So consider giving that to Him today, would you? Those footholds and strongholds. Just take them to the cross. Just take them to the cross. Because it's going to hold us back in our year of growth. I don't want anybody falling behind this year. I hope you have an amazing day. I'm gonna go head out with some great guys, and we're gonna work out in. Hope you go about your day, and you just know that you're loved by your church family. We'll talk to you soon. Talk to you tomorrow morning, 5:30.